And next up, we got Terry Baker. Terry Baker is the CEO of the Society of American Foresters. He oversees all of SAF's program and collaborates with board of directors to establish a strategic vision committed to the scientific sustainable management of America's forests. Prior to his selection as SAF CEO in September of 2018, Terry served in various roles within the USDA Forest Service. His almost 20-year federal career started in his home state of Florida. Um, Terry earned his master's degree in forest management and policy from Yale University in 2007, a bachelor's degree in forest resource and conservation at the University of Florida in 2004, and a bachelor's degree in agricultural science from Florida A&M University. So, everybody, welcome Terry Baker.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, I know you're full. Good afternoon, everyone. Because right now I honestly cannot see anybody. I just see lights. Thanks so much, Riley. Thanks everyone for having me. Really excited to be able to share some of the work that SAF is doing, especially in partnerships with a variety of tribes and ITC. I will mention really quickly before I start that I'm extremely honored to be on the main stage. About 5 years ago, I went to my first ITC conference as the SAF CEO and tried to show up with some humility and developing an understanding of what were the challenges, what were the opportunities, and where SAF could be a stronger partner. And last year I was in a breakout room on the second day, and today I've made it to the main stage. So thank you so much. It's taken 5 years, and I promise I'm here to help. All right. So we'll start off with a little bit about the Society of American Foresters. So we are celebrated our 125th anniversary last year. We're a professional association for forestry and natural resource professionals across the U.S. And we do a variety of things to support those professionals. Yeah, as was mentioned, the mission of doing our best to maintain and promote scientific sustainable management of our nation's forests, but also how we expand that definition and understanding that there are a host of indigenous practices that we should be incorporating more into the work that we do. We have about 9,000 members across the U.S., and those are structured into about 30 state and multi-state societies across the country. So quite the group of folks involved in this work, committed to the education and how we can support professionals both through actual technical transfer and accrediting forestry programs and natural resource programs and urban forestry programs at universities and technical schools, to doing a lot of outreach and engagement and trying to do our best to support the dynamic that we're all facing around workforce and awareness and social license to engage in this critical work, I think especially now more than ever. All right. As a CEO, it's about 3 years ago or so, we merged with the platform #ForestProud, which was really exciting for me for a variety of reasons. But one of the reasons it was really critical from my standpoint is in the forestry sector, there's always kind of a big communications campaign, and it's created to fight off someone saying that we should not ever cut down a tree. And it lasts for about 3 or 4 years, and then we're just like, yep, that either worked or didn't work enough. So we'll drop it, and then a year or so later, we'll come up with a new amazing campaign, and we should do this, and this will convince everyone that we know what we're doing, and it's going to be okay. But when I had a chance to engage with folks who had put together Forest Proud, it really resonated with me as something that could stand the test of time, and represented the opportunity to have a consistent amount of storytelling and engagement that really represented the work that we all do, but not in a defensive way. Like, it's not about defending what we do; it's about having a consistent message and a variety of pieces of information that really showcase the importance and also the value that we all have in this work. And so, one of the key components of Forest Proud is especially storytelling. As we know, we all have amazing stories, and something that I've definitely gained over the years, especially coming to ITC, is the relationship with the land, not only with our communities, but also with the land and with our forests and their importance to us. And how we can approach telling those stories to folks that think think that, commercial forestry is all about making money. And yeah, there's that piece of it, but it's also about our relationship with the land and how we sustain that health long term. And so it's been an exciting opportunity to really revisit and revamp the Forest Proud program under our new project lead, Alyssa Lambert, who's in the room. You can definitely visit her at our booth and look at different ways we can tell these stories and how we engage as broad a community of folks in the forestry and natural resources world to tell those stories. Because as we all know, none of us are going to do this alone. It will take as many of us as we can get to the table to help try to resolve some of the challenges that we all face. So it's an exciting piece to be a part of. It's an important piece that we are glad to be engaged with and how we share over time. So Forest of the First Stewards, I was really excited when this project was brought to our attention. Probably about this time last year, maybe a little bit later. The concept that came in from Discover Media Works to the Forest Proud program was this idea of how do we talk about indigenous forest practices and communities and relationships with the land in a really meaningful way. And so the more we discussed it, the more we're like, this sounds like an amazing opportunity for us to step into a space that we've wanted to show up in a much stronger way. So the conversation started about what this would look like. One from a fundraising perspective, but also it was really exciting when they were like, oh yeah, we think we want to work with the Menominee first. And I said, do we know that ITC is going to be at Menominee next year? They're like, oh, we did not know. I was like, oh, well, we should work on that. I feel like some more conversations need to happen. And thankfully they did. And so I believe some amazing relationships were born out of this effort to really go out and not only create a video project and campaign project, but also to create a K through 12 curriculum that will be shared with all the students here in the great state of Wisconsin. And that was also a written curriculum as well as I believe 5 to 7 videos that are actually part of the curriculum as well. No, they're about 7 minutes. 5 videos, 7 minutes. I think I got that right. But to help tell the story in a different way for folks that really absorb that knowledge orally and visually, not just through something written on paper. So it's been a great undertaking. It's taken us this time to have some finished products. I believe the premiere will be at the end of this week, actually, I think, or this weekend on PBS here locally. And thankfully, we have a teaser trailer, so I'll be able to share that with all of you. But really, just one of these things where it came out of nowhere, and the more we talked about it, the more realistic and important that we found it could be. Has been a bit of it was initiated as a one-off project, but hopefully we inspired some additional conversations with all the partners that came together to help make this happen. That was the U.S. Endowment for Forest and Communities. IPC was a partner and helped fund this project. BIA, Wisconsin DNR, and obviously the Menominee tribe and their contributions and engagement to help make all this happen, amongst a few others. And so we feel really fortunate to be able to help bring that together and help tell some meaningful stories. So I think maybe the trailer's next. We'll see what we can do. That's all you get. And but I promise you, that's a snippet. Once you get a chance to see all of it, truly an impressive piece of work. And I cannot thank folks from Menominee for inviting us in to let us capture some of these stories and this content to help raise the awareness across the entire state of Wisconsin. And I feel like it's going to get spread a little bit farther than that. So really looking forward to the next steps of this project. Really quick, I just want to share about some of the things that SAF is doing in and around professional development and career development. We have our online learning platform, Forestry, that we have a variety of webinars and courses that folks can take related to just about anything related to forestry and urban forestry. We do that through a variety of partners, but also creating some unique content from SAF to help fill gaps and help professionals engage in their work. Really exciting. We launched that platform when I first started this job the beginning of 2019. And I think towards the end of last year, we officially reached 1 million individual users to come to that site. So that was pretty exciting for us. Um, Continue to develop opportunities for accessible education, both obviously in the field, but also what can we do better when it comes to various learning styles that are out there to help people absorb that information and gain some awareness and want to pursue hopefully some careers, but if nothing else, awareness around what forestry and natural resources management is. Um, Convening conversations around industry, landowners, markets, and industry in the forestry space. There's so many parts, so many players in the work that we all do, and like I mentioned, it really takes quite a group of folks to make this all happen. And so when one of us is struggling, we all do. I think we all experience that now with a variety of market challenges and just in the industry. So that is something that we are well aware of and doing our best to help convene the conversations that are meaningful and impactful to try to address some of those challenges. Like I mentioned, courses, workshops, as well as some mentoring opportunities, but really looking at how we as an organization, with our long history and strong relationships, continue to show up in a way that is meaningful and helps professionals in this work every day. A few years ago, we started a partnership with the U.S. Forest Service and their Job Corps centers. This program was focused on conservation education, so somewhat similar to your summer camp, but a way to just reach out to these students who their Job Corps centers are either located on or in close adjacency to a national forest, and many of them outside the forestry trades do not know that they're that closely located or what forestry is. So we've had a great opportunity to create some new curricula and engage with these students, and it's just been a huge success. Everything from the on-site curricula efforts, where it's a lot of field activities and hands-on activities, to actually having a service project that they get to do on the second day of the coursework. So that's been really exciting for them to get out and be able to do something that helps that national forest. And like I mentioned, we hope we change some minds and folks get into forestry, but if not, they have a better understanding of forest management, wildfire, ecology, fisheries, as well as other um, components of what we all do, and can take that into the world of masonry and welding and business administration and culinary arts. So as long as we have somebody who can cook and understands why a tree grows that way, I think we've done a good thing. We also certify professionals as an organization, something that we have done since the late 90s, which speaks to, I think, the core of what SAF does, this idea of setting the standard of what it means to practice forestry in the U.S. And so we have, since our first certification of certified forester, a couple of years ago, we added the certified urban community forestry credential and the certified forestry technician credential, which has given us a lot of flexibility in engaging a lot more communities. The certified forester requires a 4-year degree, but as does the certified urban community forester, certified forestry technicians for folks with 2-year degrees. But the CUCF and the CFT both have pathways for folks with a high school education or equivalent. And that was really intentional when it comes to working in community forestry, but also folks that do a great deal of forestry work who may not have completed a degree or are just, it's a family business and they jump into it. So we've been really excited about the response that we've had to those 2 new credentials. And one of the things that's been really exciting is we've actually have 2 high school programs that are pilot programs where high school career technical experience programs in forestry and natural resources can lead to a candidate certification that they can graduate with when they graduate high school. So we're really excited about what that means about pathways and connectivity to these careers and all the workforce challenges that we face. And it gives us a chance to, as we've talked about, and I think we'll continue to talk about on this panel, how do we reach farther and farther into communities to showcase the importance of the work and what it means not only to the resources that we engage with and have that relationship with, but also the professional community and what it does for our communities at large. So, a variety of other programs that we do to support work in workforce and engagement. You'll see a career pathway guide that we did for our new college guide. So originally it was the college guide where we highlighted our various accredited programs. Excited to see a few of those in attendance here. And something we started maybe a year or so ago was this concept of a college and career guide. The needs of really tying the awareness of these programs for universities and how they tie into careers careers and who are some of the employers and what is some of the work that can be done in this arena. And then this year, we are also started integrating the stories of folks that are in these careers and how they got there. As we all know, those stories can be pretty varied. I like to say I stumbled into forestry and now they won't let me leave. So here we are, trying to make a difference. And, continue to work with our local chapters, our state societies, their meetings, their outreach, the various teacher programs, and the list goes on. It is an exciting time to be at SAF and the work that we get to do, the stories that we get to tell, and the connection community that we get to create. And so I feel really fortunate to have a team that is really dedicated to that work. And lastly, just some pieces to share along the way. We've had some great relationships with the U.S. Forest Service and the Wood Innovation Grant Program. Some of you may be familiar where this is everything from some catalytic funding to help various new products make their way or showcasing some existing products and innovations in forestry and natural resources. And our Forest Proud program has really done an amazing job with that. We have a new film, short film out on biochar. Hopefully everyone can get a chance to watch that. But also, how do we tell the story? How do we advance the profession? How do we get in front of the people who don't know what we do and help raise some awareness and hopefully some understanding and support? So with that, I would just love to say thank you for having me. Please reach out to us. There's a lot of ways to engage with SAF. We actually started an affiliate membership, so if you don't have a forestry background, you can come hang out with us as well. We're a fun bunch. And please look at our website. We have some information out on our booth. There's opportunities to support that Job Corps program and volunteer, but there's also a wealth of information about scholarships and fellowship opportunities that we use to support students on their pathways. So thank you again for having me, and I'll close with May the Maid Stage.